Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is your boy Sean Q, my partner, like always.
J. Roman.
Together we are OSP, and we're going to start this episode, the first one of 2021, with a moment of silence for all the soldiers and all the beautiful lives that were lost in 2020. Now, fuck you, 2020. Just wanted to get that out there, man. We almost
Straight
snuck
up.
out. We
Like it was unbelievable, man. It was like day after day. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? And it's unreal. It was unreal
we
the way it
almost
ended.
snuck out. We almost got out of 2020 without losing some more good ones, and one kind of snuck by us, and then one was like last one of the year, man. The one that snuck by, and it's weird that this happened because I was just talking to my roommate about him a couple months ago, and I didn't realize why people were. I got to look at the timeline, but we lost MF Doom, man,
I
and
know.
MF Doom
Nuts.
wasn't even 50, and we lost him. And I was talking to my roommate about it a couple months ago because I was like, it's funny. A lot of people are mentioning MF Doom in the past year. It's weird. There was a song I was listening to with Earth Gang and Dreamville, and somebody said I ain't trying to be my MF Doom, and I was like, oh shit, look at the young cats paying respect to MF Doom. And Anderson Paak has one where he said, like MF Doom, no cap, no cap. I was like, oh shit, everybody's talking about
Hmm.
MF Doom, and he passes away, and it's just what the fuck, bro.
Yeah,
That one was an older one, and that happened on Halloween.
I
Completely
know. And
flew
we
under
we
the
just found
radar.
out. So I thought it was really weird. Okay, we found out New Year's Eve. It happened Halloween. Why wait till New Year's Eve? Why not wait till the New Year? I don't know. Either way, it's crazy that he died anyway. I mean, he like you said, 49. You know what I mean? And he's only one of in the last week of three hip hop heavy hitters that passed. I mean, like we put in the post, and when I was writing it up, putting it all together, MF Doom is at 49 is a legend. You know what I mean? Like he's respected by all of them, everybody. Maybe the young cats don't know who he is that much, but I bet you they've heard his song or two.
Oh, they have.
Especially if any of them, and it looks like all of them because they're all a bunch of idiots, have watched Adult Swim. You know what I mean? So, Adult Swim is not something I ever got into, but it always struck me when I'm watching the station when it would come on that his song would come on, and I'd immediately hear him start rhyming. I was like, "Why is MF Doom on this on this Adult Swim thing?" I was like, "Okay," and it was always a big thing. But I mean, seeing him in concert with the mask on and everything, out there with Kweli, I seen him out there with at Rock the Bells a couple times. Man, it was dope. I don't. I can still honestly say I still don't. I still have barely scratched the surface of MF Doom material
Yeah.
because for one, his tunes are a little bit different than my style. So I kind of have to get in the mood and let the flow with me. And then his his rhyming, of course, has always been dope, always very creative. But even that style, I'm like, I got to kind of be more in the mood. It's kind of like there's a few cats out there like that, but it's still no denying the stamp he put on everything, man. It was ridiculous.
We lost him. We lost Ecstasy from Houdini. Now,
You know how old he was?
how was I did not don't.
He was barely in his 50s. I
Dude,
want to say like 51 or some shit.
the
Him and
Black
MF Doom were
Zorro.
both pioneers.
Yeah,
And
we're talking about the Black Zorro. We're talking about the man who would wear the leather vest, who had the Black Zorro hat on. I remember man, that was some tight shit in the 80s when he was rocking the Houdini hat.
the balls to wear that. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot like now. I mean, you've seen so many cats wear what they wear, and it's like he was back then. A lot of cats back then they built out that style, and you had to be unique. You had to be really unique, and he rocked that, and he rocked it like he didn't give a shit what anyone said, which was perfect.
He didn't. He had a signature voice. I remember you would have friends, the ones we lose every day. Sometimes we use them in the wrong way. Like that was
Hmm.
like the that was a pinnacle in hip hop right there. The last time I remember seeing him actually perform was I remember they did the Wild Wild West when the movie came out with Will Smith, and it was
Hmm.
Will Smith, Drew Hill, and actually was there. It was Houdini, and he was in the back, and they was doing that the Wild Wild West because I mean it was a cover of his song. I thought that was dope. I hadn't
Yeah.
seen him since, but it's just, I mean, almost snuck out. He almost got out of 2020. And then this last one hits closer to home than I expected. This last one. So we lost Adolfo Quinones, aka Shabadoo. If you
Yeah.
know Shabadoo, um, you know him from as Ozone, mainly from Breaking and Breaking 2.
Hmm.
A good friend of mine, Ron, my boy Tempo. Shabadoo was the godfather of his kids. And
Nice.
so I didn't talk to him till a couple of days after it happened, and he was basically he's in Australia. He was just low key. He hadn't really talked to anybody, and
Hmm.
he asked me. He's like, I just don't know what to tell. Like, what do I tell my daughter? Like, how do I explain to her that her godfather passed away at such a
Yeah.
young age? And
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
sucks because he had just posted that he had checked in to the hospital,
Yeah.
and he was doing good. He was recovering, and then the next day, bam.
That was nuts. I was like,
It's
what? What do you
it's
mean? He the picture he looks alive to me. He's smiling. He's like, yeah, with the teddy bear, whatever he had in his hands. I can't even remember at this point. But like, the man looks great for someone who's sick. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Sick with whatever it was. And then he's talking about he was negative for COVID. Now I guess we're gonna really find out because they, autopsy and all that stuff. Because you got to figure out from day to day how you go from one to one. Unless he knew it was something more serious and he kept everything positive. You know what I
right.
mean? To not really bring anything down. But and that's on him if that's how he wants to do it. And I can respect that. You know what I mean? And just, man, it sucks, man. Like Adolfo out of the three hit me the hardest because the two things I admire most in hip hop are the breakers and the DJs. I love the rappers, of course. I listen to rap all day. I can listen more to rap than I can listen to beats. But man, Adolfo, watching him on Breaking 1 and 2. Granted, Electric Boogaloo isn't the greatest.
No,
It's super super cheesy, and so is part 1. But man, there was just something about it. He's in there. He's doing his thing. You're like, wow, man, you just didn't see that, and then you see, or you saw it at the time, but then it kind of went away. But then he was still there, and everyone still knows him. And the crazy thing is, I was telling somebody, I think it was two Comic Cons ago, they had a break-in set of toys,
that's right.
and it was Ozone Tempo and the Broom, and it came in a little boombox box. I couldn't find it. I was gonna bust it out.
I
Came in a
it
little
showed me
boombox.
that
You take off
Turbo
the
in the
front,
Broom. It was like
yeah, and
Turbo
it
in the
has turbo
Broom
and,
and then Ozone
and
in
all
it.
that. It's like it was so dope, and I was like, man, this is super dope. This is totally what I need to have in my life. You know what I mean? And just to think like, oh, I can maybe get him to sign it. And then the next Comic Con, Tempo had some pictures and paintings, like a drawing of him that he had
Turbo?
signed. He wasn't there. Yeah, yeah, but I'm just using his like other name that because you just called him Temple and like that's how
Well,
you
no,
know
no,
him. So
my boy Tempo. I'm talking about somebody different.
I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Why did I think that's the same? I was looking at that. Anyway, yes, Turbo. He had like pictures. He had pictures and like this drawing of him that an art dealer was selling with autographs. And so I bought one of those, hoping I could meet him, but he didn't show up that day.
Mm.
But I was okay. One day I'm gonna meet him. One day I'm gonna meet Ozone, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna just take a picture, whatever. But one of the legends I'll never be able to meet now. I've met quite a few, and whether I've shaken their hand, seen them in concert, or just said what up, I've met quite a few, and a lot of the breakers I have not because they're
Mm.
not like out there in your face. I would not have been able to really see him on the street and recognize him in certain ways that he looked, except for if he was with the mustache and all that. Because when he went clean face, I never recognized Ozone. Like I didn't know who he was. All the pictures I saw, I was like, "Who's that guy?" It was like that. Say he looked like one of my uncles or something like that. But crazy thing is, he was black and Spanish. You know, it's one of those things like he's one of the pioneers and he's one of the founders of the lockers. You know what I mean? Group back in the day that was not just breaking but locking, and pop locking and all that is way different. And there's a few people I follow. That's how I even found out. I follow this guy nonstop. He's super dope. Justin Bua put me on to him, the great painter. Now, and ever since I followed him since that day. And the stuff he puts out, he put a picture of him up and said DIP, Dance in Peace, I guess, right?
Mm.
I was like, what the hell? No way. And that's what made me see the postings. I was like, couldn't believe it, man. That shit hurt.
My boy Tempo. Actually, my friend Nate too. He's about to be one of the guys who's making this happen. But I don't know if you heard, they're about to introduce breaking in the Olympics in 2024.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
sucks that Shabadoo couldn't make it the next 4 years to see that come to fruition,
yeah.
because that would
Mm-hmm.
have been dope. They would have a whole little thing to like the pioneers, and I'm sure they'll do something for him. But it just sucks that he couldn't make it to see that come to
Yeah.
fruition, because I'm sure he wanted to be a part of that. I remember my boy Tempo told me a story when he met him. He said Shabadoo, he was real into himself. He said he gave him his phone. He was leaving. He was about to go to the bathroom, and he handed Tempo his phone. He was like, "Hold that." And it was like a picture of himself on there. He goes, "What's
Of
this?" He
course
goes,
it was.
he was like, "So you could think about me while I'm gone." Tempo's like, "What the fuck?" Figured.
Of course
And then they
it
was
was.
just tight as shit after that. But yeah, man, way too many lost. But we can say this to the people. Congratulations to those of you who are listening to us. You have made it. You've escaped Jumanji. You made it, baby.
Oh
You got out of
gosh.
this disease-ridden shithole of a fucking year, and you made it to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen now? But in the eyes of a lot of people, a lot of us who are optimists who believe in the glass being half full can't be much worse than last year. For a lot of us, 2020 was like the worst year of our lives. And I'm not saying that in a overly dramatic to where people are like, I was stuck in the house for months. No, a lot of bad shit happened that we had no control over.
Hmm.
So this year can only be better. And going with that, we want to start
Are you sure?
with we want to start with our what's popping. I want to start with what's popping because the last big blockbuster of 2020 came out a week ago, and it was the last big blockbuster. It's the one the fans have been waiting for
they're
all
they're
year.
calling they're calling it a hit, and they're making part three. It's already signed up. Like,
So Wonder Woman 1984 came out on Christmas,
hmm.
and I got 6 gifts for Christmas. That one was my worst. Uh, I
Hold
I
on.
I
Oh,
I didn't
cut a
like
worm.
it. I
So,
didn't like it. I heard a lot of people have different reactions. Like I know a lot of people were like, "Well, I liked it better than the first one." I didn't hate the first Wonder Woman. I didn't think it was that bad of a product.
I thought
I
a lot
didn't
of people loved the first one. I thought it was a
know
mega hit.
a lot of. I mean, it was a hit because it was Wonder Woman, but a lot of people, a lot of, I guess you could say a lot of comic fans, a lot of people who follow her story in the comic books, which I didn't know there was that many, but they were like, "Well, they didn't do this right, didn't do that right." You're not gonna appeal to all the fucking comic book
Yeah,
fans
of course not.
unless you're fucking John Favreau. It's that dude can do no wrong.
I mean,
Um,
yo, you ain't lying, man. You ain't
that
lying.
dude can't. So I didn't hate the first one. I didn't. It wasn't the best movie ever made, but it wasn't a bad movie. The second one wasn't a good movie. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't. There's so much. I'm not gonna get into the 20 minutes it would take to explain all the shit I didn't like about it. But I will say this: I don't know how you're gonna make a part three about a woman who's a rapist.
You
Wonder
got
Woman
that,
raped that dude. Wonder Woman raped a guy, and we all watched on Christmas.
huh? so, so it didn't take me. When I watched it, here first off, I had no expectations for it. So you can't really disappoint me at that point. I was like, okay, it's what it is. I thought this is interesting that we have this movie that is about an egomaniacal person who wants all the power he can get, only to do whatever he does to get it. And he kind of gives you a little something, and then he takes a whole lot. And it's like that sounds very familiar. I didn't realize we were going to relive the last few years in a 2 hour movie. But hey, I'll take that. So, um, and I didn't even catch on to the rapist part because I was like, oh, this is kind of nice because we've seen this crap before, Switch, Parent Traps type stuff, where stuff like this happens. And then someone said, I think it was Ink and Celluloid. That bastard always gets me with like his really on point commentary in his posts. And he had pointed out how it's non-consensual. This person didn't know what happened. This and that. I was like, that's right. He was in, what's his face? Chris Pine is in a different body. Because
Mhm.
I was wondering how they're going to explain that, and of course they did. Of course, he's in a different body, and she does things with that other body, and then that's a different guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, But if his consciousness wasn't in there, was it really him? So that's my
Oh,
question.
if I may, I think I have an answer for that. First of all, you want me to believe that in a world where a person can wish for this magical stone that nobody fucking knew about to become that stone, and that stone can then evolve and it's now a part of them. In that same world where a bitch can throw a rope and catch lightning and then fly, the only way to bring back her dead boyfriend is in the body of some random dude that we have no idea who the fuck he is. That is called awful writing, J. Roman. That is awful shit writing.
It's a
And
comic
then,
book. What do
and
you want?
then I would just make his fucking body appear. Be like, oh, he survived just why's it got to be in the body of some random dude? That's the one thing that has to have some
That's
kind of realism. Really,
okay. That's
he
a
can
good
catch
point.
lightning, but he can't just resurrect from the dead. It's a magical fucking stone. Why can't he just magically come back? Right? That's stupid to me. But a friend of mine said to me, she goes, well, that guy should be lucky because when he came back into consciousness, he got to have sex with Wonder Woman. I was like, not if he was gay. How you feel now? Now I'm putting the narrative out there that Wonder Woman raped the gay guy. That's the narrative I'm putting out there.
Yeah, but coming back into consciousness, he didn't know.
It don't matter.
So,
Right.
spoiler alert. We already said all the spoilers, but we
Oh,
gotta put a little thing in the beginning.
okay. So if it's okay for Wonder Woman to rape a gay dude because he's out of his consciousness, then Bill Cosby should be let out of jail. Because all those chicks who got roofied by Bill Cosby weren't in their right consciousness.
I agree. I'm with you.
She's a rapist, and I don't think there should be a part 3. I think we should cancel Wonder Woman. I'm trying to do this with a straight face because it's a fucking comic book movie. I don't listen. DC outside of the Batman movies, DC just continues to let everybody down. I don't know what these people expect DC. I don't know why they expect DC to put out this superior product when they will never be on the Marvel level. Like that movie was exactly what I expected DC to put out and be like, look at our greatness.
Again, I have no expectations unless it's Batman. If it's Batman, you better get it right because the last 3 were right. Batman vs Superman, nah, and then Justice League, nah. But the Batmans, you better get right. But I did just watch Batman and Robin again recently, and the one before that, forget the name. Those are horrible. But I forgot they were so horrible. I knew they were bad, but hot damn, they're really bad.
Yeah,
But I'm still waiting for the Pattinson one.
Yeah, it goes Tim Burton's Batman, Christopher Nolan's Batman, and then whatever's coming next. The stuff in between there, trash, basura. So we are out of 2020. We survived. We made it. If there was something that you could leave in 2020 and never speak of again, I'll put it like this. Like I wish we could leave police brutality and systemic racism and ignorant prejudice and Donald Trump and bitch niggas in 2020.
Yeah.
Every year I try to leave bitch niggas behind, and every year they follow us. If we could do like Mike Lowry said in Bad Boys, we're gonna take them, we're gonna put them with my mama's titties, we're gonna put them in a box, we're gonna throw them bitches in the ocean, never to be spoken of again.
Okay, I'm a little bit lost on that one, but all right.
We just want to throw in a box in the ocean to never be spoken of again. We can't. Obviously, 2020 has shaped the course of the world and the future. It's crazy. But if there was one thing you could leave in 2020, what would it be? I stand by mine. I guess Trump would fall in that category. Bitch niggas. I always want to leave bitch niggas behind.
The fear, man. I think the fear. Not that I'm afraid, but the fear of 74 million people who vote to keep racism strong. You know what I mean? Not just alive, not just here and there. No. Prominently in your face. I would like to leave that if I could. Right. Because it was, I wouldn't say too much of a surprise, but still kind of a surprise to have so many people against you, against my baby, against my wife. They see me, they don't know what to think. I'm a mix to them. They don't care. But to see so many people make so many excuses for such trash behavior, it's unbelievable. And I hope we can leave that nonsense in the past, but I don't know where we're going to go. Sorry, shaking the table. I don't know how far we're going to go because the unfortunate thing is, we recently crossed 20-something million people with COVID-19 or with coronavirus. We've recently crossed, I think we're at around 350,000 people, something around the 340-something thousand who have died now from this virus. We now have, and crazy thing is, it's 2021. You know what year it is? It is now 20 years, almost 20 years from 9/11. And on the daily in our country, we have more deaths than 9/11 due from the coronavirus and COVID-19. So it's like, can we leave at least the ignorant racism and bullshit aside to at least come together like Voltron as people and humans who can actually respect and have empathy for each other to help each other grow and rise up? Because 30,000 people, 40,000, 50,000 people didn't make it to right now. Because whatever ignorance they want to believe themselves or be around other people that put them in jeopardy. You know what I mean? So I want to leave that shit alone. I want to leave that ignorance, that stupidity. It's just dumb. It doesn't even make any sense, but you got this asshole like Ted Cruz about to fight the election results. Like, come on, you got these idiots like that. So That's all I can really say about that. I mean,
Right.
shutdowns. I've seen you once in about what 10 months now. I see my mom once in 8 9 months. Like I need this shit to get back to normal. I'm starting to lose it. I'm starting to lose my cool. I've been actually pretty chill. I'm chill at home. I could be a homebody. I could not go anywhere. But I haven't been in New York in 4 years. I got to see my
Mhm.
fam. I got to get out. They got to come to me. I got to go to them. Something. So I need all that shit to be left in the behind because had we come together as a group of people, had we come together as Americans, as the biggest, strongest, baddest force in our world, we could have got through this in a much better way. We could have saved hundreds of thousands of people. But people want to just play dumb. So I don't know.
I if I'm an alien and I'm looking down at the world, I'm like, listen, if a global pandemic can't make these people fucking come together, nothing will. Like
Yeah.
if they can't find a reason to come together when they all have one common enemy,
Hmm.
but even with this one common enemy, they're still fucking fighting amongst themselves, they're never gonna come together.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
sucks as a society to say that, but that's where we're at right now. If there's anything, is there anything that you've learned from
I,
2020?
I was actually about to ask you the same thing since we just commented on what we could leave. So mine's gonna be kind of in the same realm that I was just talking about. What I've learned the most is that with poor leadership, a country can go down within a year. A country like ours, with poor leadership, can fall to its knees within a year. We are lucky. We are lucky that there are no invaders out there
Mm,
that are trying to decide to take over our land. If China was already built up the way they're trying to go right now, another 10 years from now, and something like this happened, and you get a ruler in there that's like, you know what? It's time to go. It's time to take them out. They could wipe us out like that. China has billions of people, billions. We have 330 million that we can't protect.
mm.
China's massive compared to us. If they decided no more US, it would be pretty easy in a year like this. Poor leadership will lead to a downfall. You know what I mean? It's obvious. It's been 10 months. Actually, it's already been over a year since the first case was here. Yeah, actually, first case was, announced. We, like I said, 20 million people sick, all the other ones fighting, 70 something million people voting for a racist asshole. And you have, people dying in the streets from everyone else, from the cops and each other. You know what I mean? And people have turned on each other. People have turned on each other in this country. And it's like, I don't understand what's not to get here. I don't understand what you're not looking at, what you're not thinking about to move forward. If we fight, we're gonna fall. That's it. Divided we fall, right? It's plain and simple. So what I've learned is poor leadership. Poor leadership will bring down anything.
I will take the flip side of that. I'm gonna go the positive route. The one of the things I've learned the most from 2020 is that we as a people, mainly Americans, because that's what I'm surrounded by, are very resourceful. When you have families who have family members who are in the hospital, yet they're not allowed to be with them, they have found creative ways to show their support for them. The dad that dances outside of his sick kid's hospital room, the Uber driver who keeps bringing food to the family that she dropped off at the hospital, who wasn't prepared to be at the hospital, and she's their only contact. Stuff like that. I feel like those small parts of resourcefulness and creativity have been enhanced in 2020. People have found ways to be there's small businesses who saw other small businesses get shut down to never reopen and
Hmm.
have found ways to be like we have to find ways to where it's safe, but we still keep our livelihood. We don't just go under. We got to turn this parking lot into a patio so people can still eat, but it's outside. We have to find everybody. The thing I noticed is, and it was a phrase that I've been seeing a lot of, and I'm a huge fan of it. If you didn't find a way to hustle in 2020, you don't have it in you. You're not a hustler. It's just not in you
Hmm.
because everybody got affected in 2020 and
Yeah.
we all had to find hustles. We all had to find ways to make money. And people's creativity as far as that money making process, I applaud it. A lot of people could have just, a lot of people did give up, quit, tap out. They're like, this is too much. I can't be quarantined this long, or I want to see
Yeah.
people. They couldn't handle it. So they couldn't hack it. They went beyond broke. Who knows what happens? But for the ones who survived and found creative ways to survive, I applaud that. I like that. That's what I learned. is that the right people, the majority of people are resourceful and creative and find ways to make it through. And if there's anything that gives me hope for a longer society than we were gonna have, it would be that. When you see like the hurricane hit and people come together to help these people out, when you see these like I said, the people in the hospital, people are finding ways to help. Like we see who our heroes are, we see who our essential workers are. Stuff like that gives me hope for the future. A little bit, but hope. That's what I learned in 2020. If you don't have a hustle by now, you're not gonna have a hustle. Let's take a break. Yeah?
Break,
Yeah, let's take
break,
a
break, break, break,
we're
break.
gonna take a break. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. And we are back. We were
Gotta
talking about,
stretch.
you good.
Gotta get this shit feeling out of me because 2020 just, man. Anyway,
Yeah. It's just been awful. But it's over. We're looking forward. We're looking toward the future. Um, I don't know some good things. What are some things? I mean, if I were to tell somebody something we could look forward to in 2021, one would be the obvious. There's a new regime. We have a new
hmm
president. We have a new uh there's a new team in the White House.
new
So
administration.
a new administration. So I guess that's something to look forward to. That's one step. That's one obvious difference from this in
I'll take that.
2020. Um
Something I
uh
saw in 2020 a lot, which I'm sure is going to continue, maybe lessen up a little bit, but I saw a lot more people of color on TV, in commercials, movies, producing, all this kind of stuff. I don't remember if we brought it up, but I know you and I talked about it. But Regina King got a high honor, first female director to ever get something at the. I think we brought that up.
yeah.
To ever get that award or that prestige. Anyway, that movie's coming up, so I
Okay.
can't wait to see that. A lot of really, really dope stuff out there happened. BLM worldwide movement happened.
Yeah.
People realizing that Black people across the world finally coming together as a team, I guess you could say, to support Black people around the world. We're talking hundreds of nations participating in that. Like there were some positives around 2020. It
Yeah.
was negatives that got them there,
Right.
but there's always that. There's always that, balance of, yin and yang, yin and yang, whatever you want to call it, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I can take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. There you go.
Yeah. We were talking about, sorry, my camera was acting stupid. We were talking about something to look forward to in 2021.
hmm
And you were saying it's yeah, between the yin and the yang, you got to have the bad to bring out the good, and a lot of bad for 2020 would hopefully sprout some flowers of fucking positivity in
yeah.
2021.
Yeah. I mean, my
uh,
daughter can see a lot more people who look similar to her on TV than she ever did before. I mean, I'm seeing it, and I'm watching all these movies. I'm like, hot damn, there's so much out to that. I don't know if it would have got produced regardless, but I think in 2019, though, a lot of things that developed in 2019, like Tyler Perry's studio and all that, um, really kind of paved the way for 2020 to be such a big explosion of brown on screen. You know what I mean? Which I think is amazing. Not obviously not just that, but a lot of great things. You know what I mean? Like besides that, my daughter's growing up. She's learning how to ride a scooter and all that stuff. She had swim lessons. So I'd say when it comes to the positivity things, more of the more personal things to me. You know what I mean? I finally got in the groove of not being in the restaurant business. It's still kind of weird if I was to walk out on a Friday night and just see it all busy and stuff like that and think I'm
right.
not going to a restaurant and why are all these people out here? It took a while to get over that feeling, but not being in a restaurant for so long, it actually feels okay now to not be in a restaurant till 2 in the morning, Friday, Saturday night. I know you're still dealing with that, but you have plans to open up something.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah, yeah.
will
I
be
got big plans.
developing down the road. So yeah, there's some good things, and Marvel's coming out with new stuff. It's gonna be a
So
big year.
yeah, I mean,
And
knock
look how Goofy getting all excited.
right, knock on wood. Marvel Phase 4 is looking like it's gonna be pretty dope. Speaking on uh brown people on film and behind the camera, they have a black female director for Captain Marvel 2. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if stuff like that would have happened if not for what happened in 2020,
hmm
which is another positive. So yeah, I mean that's something to look forward to. There's a lot of good can come this year to make last year, not to say worth it, but like we said, take a lot of the negative from last year and make it a positive for this year.
Yeah.
There's one that you mentioned that I'm still waiting to hear the info. You said, and you just said teleportation, and you didn't go further.
Oh no, I didn't say that yet. I didn't I didn't say that yet.
I mean,
But
you said to me, not now, but you said to me, so I'm still
okay,
lost.
okay. So
I'm
okay,
thinking the fly.
so you're not wrong. Uh, except for that is further than we are yet. So teleportation has become official. It's a real thing. I don't know, and all the articles I've read, I don't recall if they said in 2019 we reached any kind of capacity for it. But they have been working on, and I just learned this. Apparently, this has been going on for a few years. But they now have the framework and the blueprint, and they've made it happen. Quantum teleportation is a thing. Okay, so or the quantum internet. Sorry, let me kind of explain what's going on. So teleportation has now happened over a long range. I think I mentioned it before when Nikola Tesla was able to transmit electricity wirelessly for miles.
Right.
They still haven't figured that shit out. They have, radio waves and all that stuff and all that. They cannot figure out Tesla stuff from way back. They still haven't got there. Teleportation, they have now reached 27 miles of information being sent how do you call it? However they call it. Anyway, teleported from one point to another. Only one direction though, with a 90% rate of success, I guess you could say. I forget the term that they use, but 90% of the information that they sent reached the destination 27 miles away. So right now it's only being developed to have this quantum network of internet for the US. Apparently we're the leaders in it. We're trying to get there before everyone else does. It just means things are going to move very fast, very, very quickly. But with the idea of quantum teleportation and information, it's only natural where quantum teleportation, teleportation of physical objects are going to be next. This is only the start. And it's kind of crazy to think in the last 10, 20 years, the amount of stuff that has changed from the beginning of the internet that we know of to now this teleportation of information through a quantum internet. The quantum part, whatever, that just means it's big. There's a lot more to it. So I'm not a scientist, so to explain it in scientific terms would just like kind of make me go bonkers. But we are sending information, we're teleporting it in seconds across vast distances, and now we're going to try and get it all everything. And they're saying like 2023 we should be having it as far as like you and I have quantum internet and stuff like that. It just means a lot more information, a lot faster. But you have the same peril that you have with any kind of thing that opens up, like 5G. As soon as you open up those lines, they get filled up with stuff. Yeah. Same thing as like a bank account. You start making more money, you start buying more things. Yeah. You start using that money, that the extra money you make, to now fill up more stuff. Same thing with the information. Once this thing gets running, it's just going to fill up again. They're going to have a new level, and we're going to be in space at that point. Yes, yeah.
Sounds like you just described 10G to me. You're going to have 10G in 2023.
It's supposed to be faster than all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of nuts. But right now it's rudimentary, so they don't have a lot of information that they can really send yet.
Right.
And they can't send it, like I said, over 27 miles yet. I'm sure they're going to get there much faster sooner. But it's not like it's not gonna really take over internet for years. We have a long time to go before we get there. But by the time we're 65, 70 years old, who knows what's going to be there with how fast they're moving these things. They also recently not teleported, but transported people in those tubes. Those tubes from Vegas or whatever.
Those Futurama tubes.
Oh my gosh! It apparently you don't even feel it. You just go. You're like, okay, I'll take it. So that was a success. I mean, if there's any way to find out what companies are doing this stuff, start investing now. Like, throw those pennies in there. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Damn. You know what it sounds like? We sound like I imagine two old dudes sitting in the chair, like when the Wright brothers were trying to create a plane. They're talking about taking a car, and the car is gonna fucking fly.
Yeah.
What do you mean fly, Earl? I mean like from here to there in the air.
That's it. That's kind of what it is. Like, I read all the articles and I was like, some of this is over my head. Like the terminology, and I love science stuff, so I'll dig into it. But to be able to explain it back, I have to read the article like 3 more times.
So I want to do this thing that a lot of shows do, and a lot of actually it's a lot of shows, a lot of programs do it, where they're like, all right, it's the beginning of the year. I wish somebody had done this last year. If they did, I want to go back and watch them. What's your bold prediction for 2021? What's something that you think will happen, but nobody else thinks will happen, but it could fucking happen? I want to go back and look at some shows who did this in the beginning of 2020 and see if anybody predicted any of that fucking shit that happened
Oh,
because
there's yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of fun stuff out there.
insane. Do you have a bold prediction for 2021?
I did, man, but I'm scared to say it though.
Are you scared it might happen?
Not scared that it would happen, but I don't want to put that on the world like that because that's it's wouldn't say it's dark, but it's kind of rough. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Show your dark side, Jay Roman.
I think we might have the first black female president.
Okay, I see that. I don't know if that's
But
go ahead.
the reason it's kind of dark is because that means Joe Biden has to be incapacitated.
Right. I don't know if that would be too bold of a. What's funny is that's something that like a lot of Republicans have been saying. Oh, the only reason why they're doing it is because her and Nancy Pelosi are going to have him removed for being incompetent. They're just doing this to put Kamala in the White House. Like that's I've been hearing this. Keep in mind, my ear's still in the streets. And
We
this,
also still all agree that Pence is vice president because why would you want him as president? So he's insulating the president because he's actually worse.
right.
So
Right. It's crazy. I don't know if that's that bold of a prediction, but it's definitely a possibility. It's a very old man in the White House who could die at any moment or anything could happen.
and that's really what it is. Like because of those, his age, he's old.
Yeah.
He doesn't have health. Excuse me. Doesn't have health issues per se.
that we know of.
He's quite elderly, and
Right.
there's a lot of Trump supporters out there who are crazy, as we've seen.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Fanatics. Yeah. That's I'm gonna go. You know what? When I think bold prediction, I'm talking like in June, Donald Trump says he's full on Muslim. He goes to Mecca. He takes a trip to Mecca. He comes back. He's full on Muslim. He stops eating pork. Or my one that I think would be dope. Here's my bold prediction. Right now, I believe the Mega Millions and the Super Lotto, each of them are up to like $450 million for
Okay.
fucking Lotto. So I predict that a young 20-year-old black girl from Ferguson is gonna win the fucking Lotto
From Ferguson.
from Ferguson, Missouri,
Okay.
win the Lotto, and she's gonna be somebody who's like, I've been protesting for 3 years, and now I have money to back up what I think is right, and I think that would change the country dramatically because you rarely, if ever, which I guess is the smart way to do it, see or hear about big Lotto winners after they win.
True.
They usually do what smart people do, and that's disappear. But it would be impactful if somebody who's like a freedom fighter or a civil rights movement leader would, I don't know, get a lotto ticket and hit and be like, oh, well, now I have money to back up my cause. That changes everything. The one thing that changes something from a movement to a law is money.
Yeah.
And that would be a lot of that's my bold prediction. 20-year-old lotto winner from Ferguson. Now, if it happens exactly like that, then I'm a witch and I need to be burned at the stake because that's very specific. That is very specific.
I would embrace your witchhood.
I mean, what is it? A warlock? I'm a warlock.
It's a warlock, yeah.
I'll take it. I'll be a warlock.
Well, I don't. I mean, it depends. I mean, you don't have to call them a warlock, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be put. Don't label me if I'm right. I don't want to be labeled. I identify as a black male witch. So
You bitches.
we are. I got what the shit for you, Jay Roman.
Oh, great. Let me see here.
Oh, it's not on there. Oh, it ain't on there. First of all, thank you for my Christmas shirt. Kicked it old school. Want to show it with the people? Yeah, Atari.
Yeah.
I know about that Atari game.
I know. I'm not sure how they even put this. One thing I learned was that I'm not sure if because of racism or because it's a smaller game, but apparently 70% less people bought Miles Morales Spider-Man versus the regular Spider-Man. One article was saying that it's because they just want the original. I'm like, no, they just want them white. My thing is really because the game is like a fourth of the amount of time to play. So why would you pay full price for that damn game? Just wait.
Not just that, but there is somebody had a beautiful meme up, and it was like if you watch Endgame when they go see Fat Thor, and Korg is playing in the future, he's playing PlayStation 4 because the PS5 still ain't out yet. He still couldn't find one. They're still sold out. That was the fucking joke. Like that's another reason why people aren't buying it because people still haven't, like, there's millions of people still waiting to buy a
Well,
PS5.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That absolutely affects the sales
Uh,
if you don't have a
Another
system to
thing,
play it on.
I mean, I know we're about to get to what the shit, but here's a what the shit real quick. Not really officially, but officially what the shit. PS5 ain't ready. We ain't ready for PS5. You know why? Because PS5 ain't ready for us. Apparently, the frame rates, the highest it gets, is like a fraction of what it's supposed to be able to get to for the games. The games can't be handled by the PS5. So when I said I don't buy first generation consoles, it's for that reason. They have not been able to tap into the power of the PlayStation yet
Right.
properly. And in fact, even the Miles Morales game has two modes: quality or how it runs, or performance, quality or performance. So it's like, wait, I'm supposed to pick one? I
Wait,
thought the
so it's still
PS5
hand
was
in
supposed to
hand?
handle all of it.
Yeah.
So we ain't ready, people. So all these yahoos out there panning to get one, jumping in the stores, buying however many you want. Keep doing what you're doing, but you know the real one's gonna come out in a year or two, and you and me, we're gonna be ready.
Pretty much. So here's our what the shit. Apparently, we are starting 2021 with the return of some good old hot garbage. I
Oh, yes, I, I think I know what you're getting to. I
apparently
was like,
season 3 of Cobra Kai is here, and let me tell you how I know season 3 of that Cobra Kai trash is here, because my DM has been blowing up. I've taken 3 out of the 40 something messages about this garbage ass show, and I've chosen them to share with you and the OSP fam right now. I'm just gonna pick 3. Just
okay,
3.
I'm gonna sit back and enjoy this.
1. Hey Q, I would love to come on the show and debate you on how good Cobra Kai is. I'm not gonna say whose name that is. No, go fuck yourself.
Damn.
Here's another one. Yo, send me your address so I can mail you your Christmas present. It's a Cobra Kai jersey that comes with karate shoes and a Coors Banquet.
Coors Banquet.
That's what Johnny drinks. I
Okay.
guess that's what's hot in the
Okay.
street.
Sure.
And then my all-time favorite. Hey Sean, Cobra Kai motherfucker. These,
like yippee ki do or die,
yeah,
something like that.
this is how you people address me because I called a show trash. How dare you? I clearly at some point, and I told him all this. At some point in time, I will watch. Because remember, I don't shit on something unless I don't make an opinion of something unless I've
Yeah.
seen it. I will watch season 3. Maybe it's better than the first 2. Maybe they actually put out a good product. Maybe it's not a bunch of crying and it's not a fucking teenage soap opera. Maybe now the teenagers are grown up and there's actual, good shit. They still didn't bring back the guy I think they should bring back. If you want, it makes sense to me that the guy Terry, who was fucking, he brought back Cobra Kai and Karate Kid 3. Like, he had already done this. If there's anybody who should come back, it's fucking him. Instead, they bring back the dude from Japan and his bitch. Like, from the trailer I'm seeing, more trash. But I will watch it.
I
Stop
took a
blowing me up.
photo. I took a picture of something at the store. I got to send you.
I
We're gonna use it for the podcast.
Okay, I will watch this awful show. Stop hitting me up. I'm not. No, you can't come on here and debate me. No, I don't give a shit that it came out. I'm not gonna watch it first. The fuck, I don't care that much. I don't give a shit. And 3, in my opinion, still having only seen 2 of 3 seasons, hot garbage. It's trash.
So you
2020 was
didn't.
trash.
So you
They
didn't
brought-
binge it the first of the year.
I didn't. Oh my god. Oh, I thought we were going in a positive direction, and they put this trash on me. We are gonna get up out of your face.
Oh my gosh.
We hope you are as optimistic about 2021 as we are. Hopefully, right? Until next time, we'll catch you. I'm Sean Q. Be smart.
Jay Roman, we out.
Keep it old school.